Hello knitters, Barbara Benson here. I'm an independent knitwear designer who also likes to make videos here on my YouTube channel, Watch Barbara Knit. If you would like to know more about my knitwear patterns, please check in the description below, and there you will find a link to my Ravelry page. If you click through, you will find a page that has a whole bunch of pictures that you can browse, and if you would like to make one of my patterns, you can purchase a PDF. And if you do, I would love to hear about it. You can either chat with me in the comments below, or you will also find a link in the description to my Watch Barbara Knit Facebook group, where you're always welcome to come and chat. We can share pictures there, hopefully, and I'm excited to see what comes of it. Today, actually, we're talking about embroidery. We're not actually talking about knitting, and I wanted to, this is a how-to. It has a tiny little tutorial, and we're going to do that right away for people who, you know, just want to get to the instructions and don't want to listen to me chat. So here's how to make a little fishie.
We are going to make a little fishie. I want my little fishie to be swimming directly in that direction. So that's how we're going to do it. So you insert your needle. Let's put him there and bring it out. And then you're going to insert your needle a little bit above it or beside it, however you're working it. Right? See what I'm doing? And then we're going to bring the needle out halfway in between, but then above a bit. This is going to determine the width and length of your fishie's tail. And pull that out, and you can see I'm inside the loop. Pull it in this direction. There we go. It's a little off center, but you know what? It's a fishie, so it's okay for it to be a little off center. Now we're going to put, with this yarn thread held here, we're going to put the needle back in the same hole we just came out of, and then bring the needle back up in front of here. This is just a lazy daisy. So pull it out, and as you can see, it's catching the circle, and pull it in this direction so he's swimming in that direction. Ooh, this one's got a big tail. And then just in front of his little nose, stick the needle back in and tack him down. There he is. He's a little fishie. Aren't they cute?
So that was how to make a little fishie. And the reason why I ended up making that and wanted to make the tutorial is because I totally winged it. I was working on my new project, which I have finished, that I'm going to show you guys. And during the process, now this is 1 year of stitches. And what I have started doing, I started on January 1st, and the idea is you are going to make at least one stitch. You're going to put needle and thread to your canvas at least once every day and post on Instagram about it. So I will put a link in the description below to my Instagram page. And if you want to follow along, I also do lots of knitting stuff there too. And so I post and people comment on it, and it's so much fun. And the piece that I'm going to show you at some point in the process, Fatima, one of my friends, mentioned that it had a very aquatic feel to it. And as soon as I looked at it, I'm like, I can totally see that. And then I'm like, you know what that needs? It needs little fishes. But I didn't want to be like real literal on the fishes. And I happened to be looking at other Instagram posts from 1 year of stitches, which you got to click on that hashtag to see the amazing stuff that people are doing. But I saw people who had made like little butterflies and little bugs out of the lazy daisy stitch. And I was like, if you can make a bug out of a lazy daisy stitch, I bet I can make a fish. So I pondered and came up with the technique I just showed you on adapting the lazy daisy stitch to be a tiny fish. Now, this is my third piece that I finished, and here it is. Oop, it doesn't really have an up or down, I think. There we go. There it is. Now, the first thing I put on here was this big circle here, the big circle here. And then I did this line of lazy daisies, and I really wanted my previous two pieces, and I'll link to those videos where I talk about them, were very linear, and there were circles and lines, and I wanted to get some more movement into this one. So right off the bat, I started with this shape, but then I had to do a line, and once I had a line, I put this little buttonhole wheel on it. And then, it just kind of kept on growing from there. What I do is every day I look at the circle, I look at my hoop, and I decide what it wants to be. And I'll add a little on one side, but then it'll be off balance and there'll be too much space. So I jump back and forth and I do different motifs. I don't know if you can see, there's a really, really faint running stitch right here. And then the last thing I added was this partial buttonhole wheel there. And this is a feather stitch. And I did it originally in very light yarn. So then on a later date, I came back and decided it needed some shading. And then there are the fishies. Look at the fishies. They're so cute. And those fish, I did them with a variegated thread. So that's why they change color. And once I did the fishies, I put these guys over here because I thought they kind of had an aquatic fishy feel, but I was trying to see if there's other fishies, but I'm kind of obsessed with the fishies right now. And this is just a grouping of triangles. I don't know. I think this reminds me of a school of fish, but the ones that swim like in line. Well, that is my embroidery, the most recent one. Oh, these are all French knots, but I did them in different sizes. And that's my most recent completed hoop. I've started on another one. You saw it, and it is even smaller than this. I went from a giant hoop to a little hoop to this smaller hoop, and now I'm on a tiny 3-inch hoop. And so far, the only thing I've done is put fish on it because I love the little fishies. Can there be too many fish? I don't know. I am working on keeping in mostly monochromatic, but I think it's fun to bring in a burst of a different color. So that's why we had the little goldfish in here. I also wanted to show you, I got my thing. I'm so excited, and it's almost full, so I need another one already. This is the way, if you're not familiar with embroidery, you store embroidery floss, like in knitting, how you wind it up into a ball to knit from. In embroidery floss, you wind it onto these little things that are called bobbins. And you can also use these bobbins. They're really cool. You can use them for keeping yarn thread. If you're doing like stranded color work or some intarsia, you can use bobbins for that too. But so I've wound up and I sorted all my bobbins into my plastic case, which I am very pleased with, and I probably already need to get another one. And I've already got, I actually bought thread, and see these grays here? I'm going to do one of my next hoops. They're going to be all in silvers and grays, and I think that could be cool. I am having a lot of fun doing the embroidery, and it's just kind of free form. And I think it's lots of fun. Now, I have no idea what I'm going to do with the finished pieces. I already have 3 pieces finished, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with them. I've been looking and Googling and YouTubing and seeing different ways that people mount them. And I'm really thinking I'm leaning towards a lot of people just mount them in the hoops. Now, I'm going to have to buy new hoops because these hoops were my mother's and quite possibly my grandmother's. So I'm not going to fix these. I'm going to continue to use these. And but you take this and you gather it all in the back so that you can display it without all the sputz. So there it is. So that's my quick video for today about embroidery. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's lots of fun. I will link to some fun things in the description below for you to check out. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up. Click that like button. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.